When I first started digging into just how widespread and prevalent microplastics are in our environment and in our bodies, it was honestly a little overwhelming. In this video, I'm going to show you 3 simple swaps that you can make in your home today that's going to dramatically reduce the amount of microplastics that you're exposed to and that your family is exposed to. The CDC recently presented a study that they did that showed in 2,000 people that were tested, their urine samples were tested for BPA exposure. Every single sample tested positive for BPA. Microplastics and forever chemicals don't just pass through our body, they bioaccumulate, and we're finding them in all kinds of tissues in our body, human placentas, the brain, cardiac tissue, in our digestive tracts. And as a nutrition coach, I'm always trying to stay up to date with current trends and literature and research in the field of health and wellness. And honestly, this was some research that really blew me away. Widespread inflammation, gut dysbiosis, different GI issues. And this long-term accumulation and higher levels of exposure has been linked to an alarming amount of conditions, autoimmune disorders, just chronic inflammation in general, which we know contributes to all kinds of systemic problems that we have, insulin resistance, obesity, cardiac health. It's been linked strongly to reproductive issues, things like infertility and PCOS and endometriosis. And while this is really kind of alarming, what I also found as I started digging into this more is there are some very simple and inexpensive swaps that you can make in your own home today that are going to start to dramatically reduce the amount of microplastic exposure that you're getting. And in this video, I'm going to show you 3 really easy swaps that you could make this week to help cut back on some of that exposure. The very first one is going to be your cutting boards. Take a look at your cutting boards. Plastic cutting boards have been widely shown to release forever chemicals and plastics into our food, especially those brightly colored kind of flimsy ones that a lot of us have in our kitchen, because every time that you're chopping, some of these microplastics, and usually they are invisible to the naked eye, are getting into your foods and into your body. But the good news is there's a very easy and inexpensive way to swap this. You can look for bamboo, you can look for wood cutting boards, stainless steel. There's even some really cool looking glass ones out there. In the show description, I've posted a link to show you some of my top picks. I switched to bamboo. I really kind of like that like polished feel to it. They're super easy to clean, but I really like the look of some of the glass, stainless steel, and ceramic ones. And we've got a link to all of those in there. Check them out. Number 2. Plastic Tupperware. I know it's convenient and I know it's cheap, but this is one of the biggest sources of microplastics. When you heat plastic, it leaches these forever chemicals into your food, and it's kind of deceiving because a lot of these plastic containers will say microwave safe, and all that really means is that it's not going to melt in your microwave, but it is releasing plastics into your food. So this is a swap that I would make right away. Even if you're just using these to store cold food, it's a good idea to go ahead and make the swap. So glass containers are easy, they look great, and really they're relatively inexpensive. We've also got a link to those included in the description below. All right, I gotta warn you, number 3 is kind of a bummer, all right? These guys right here. Guess what? These little magical things that we love every morning, these are made of plastic. And what's worse is that we are quite literally heating them up and passing liquid through them. As you're kind of moving through this journey, again, know that anytime we are heating plastics, especially when we have food or liquid attached to that, you're more than likely also leaching some of these forever chemicals into the food or drink that you're consuming. All right, now listen, I know that this is a drag. I like my coffee as much and probably more than the next person, okay? But there's some easy swaps that you can make here. So on Amazon, they sell, I've tested all of these stainless steel ones. Now you have to refill them, but it's also a lot cheaper, okay? You're gonna be spending much less money on coffee as you get through these with the stainless steel. And they're super easy to clean, not hard at all. You just give them a little shake in your trash can and rinse them off, easy peasy. Also, you could switch to something like a drip or a pour over, which I do that also, but I find that that's a little bit better for like weekends or mornings that I have a little bit more time. Not always the best option if your mornings are a bit of a rush, or if you like to have multiple cups of coffee relatively quickly, which is me. Okay. Another option is they do make stainless steel, actually like filter cups that you can put into your drip coffee maker. And be careful with your filters as well. Okay. This is something to think about. Anything that says that it's paper, but it doesn't melt and fall apart whenever hot water passes through it, probably means that it has some plastic particles in there to help maintain its integrity. Bleached coffee filters are one of those. I was sad to learn that too. Okay, so you can replace those with just a like reusable stainless filter that's out there, and then also they make some like cotton filters. That's a little less convenient, but the flavor is really good with those. Less convenient because you have to wash them. Again, I know that this is a lot of information. I have linked recommendations to all of these products below, ones that I have found to be really useful. And if you just can't break with these, I get it. They actually also sell, Beaniac sells a really great coffee that this part right here is not made from plastic, and the flavor is really great. I've linked that in the notes below as well. All right, I got to say one more thing about coffee, and I promise I'll get off the coffee here in just a second because I know this is a bummer, but this is a big one, okay? Listen close. These cups, these to-go cups, are leaching microplastics into your body. All right, and I know they look like paper, okay? And they are, but I want you to think about this, what we talked about before. Anytime you have a paper product that stays intact when we have piping hot liquid in it, has got something in there that's keeping it from doing that. Now, most of these to-go paper cups that we get from our most favorite coffee chains, they're lined with a plastic lining. We can't see it. It's called polyethylene in a lot of these. These are they are leached into your drinks when you consume them. Okay, so easy swap. Bring your own coffee mug in. If you give it to the barista, she will fill it up for you. And a lot of coffee chains actually offer you a discount on your coffee if you do that, because they're saving on these. These plastic lids, same thing. Again, think about any time that a hot liquid is passing through plastic, you're probably getting some forever chemicals in with that tasty beverage. Again, you can get a full list of these like tested, easy, simple, inexpensive swaps at replaceplastic.com. Go check them out. I've got the link in the show description below. The big thing is you don't have to take this microplastic detox journey on by yourself. I am in the midst of my journey as well. And throughout these videos, I plan to share with you the swaps that I'm making that have been great, and maybe the swaps that haven't been so great. You don't have to do it alone. We can replace plastic together. Make sure you hit like, subscribe so that you can follow along. Put questions in the comments if you have them. Have a great day.